In a quiet, forgotten corner of the countryside, there stood a small, broken hut. Its walls were cracked, its roof patched with dry leaves, and yet, every morning, a faint trail of smoke rose from its chimney. Inside lived an old woman named Myra. Her face was wrinkled, her hands rough, and her eyes, though dim with age, still carried a warmth that could melt even the coldest hearts. Myra had no family, no husband, no children, no one to call her own. But she wasn't truly alone. For in the small shed beside her hut lived a cow, brown as the earth itself, with calm, gentle eyes. Myra called her Gauri. Every morning, before the sun climbed over the green fields, Myra would wake up, fill her bucket with fresh water, and whisper, "Good morning, my dear Gauri." And the cow would softly moo, as if answering back, "Good morning, Amma." A bond beyond words. Their bond was simple, pure, and unspoken. When Myra was sad, Gauri would rest her head on Myra's lap. When Myra laughed, Gauri's tail would wag like a happy child's. Every day, Myra milked Gauri with gentle hands. She would fill small clay pots and walk to the nearby village market to sell the milk. That was her only income, barely enough to buy rice, salt, and a few vegetables. But Myra never complained. Even when hunger lingered at her door, she would smile and say, "As long as I have Gauri, I have everything." People in the village respected her kindness. They often said, "That old woman has nothing, yet her heart is richer than ours." Hard days. Seasons passed. Summer burned the land, and rain flooded the fields. Myra grew weaker with each passing year. Her back bent more, her steps slowed, but she never stopped caring for Gauri. Sometimes, she would feed the cow before eating herself. If she had only one handful of rice left, she would cook half, and mix the other half with hay for Gauri. One winter night, as the cold wind howled outside, Myra sat beside the cow, wrapping her old shawl tighter around her shoulders. She whispered, "Gauri, if ever I go away, don't be sad, my child. You're my only family." The cow blinked her big, gentle eyes, as if she understood every word. A fading life. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Myra's health worsened. She began to cough more often, her hands trembled, and her voice grew weak. Yet she still woke up early to clean the shed, fetch water, and whisper, "Good morning, my dear Gauri." One morning, however, the sun rose, but there was no sound from Myra's hut. The air felt strange, heavy. Gauri waited by the door, mooing softly. But Myra didn't come. The door remained closed. Hours passed. The village children came by, calling, "Grandma Myra, are you home?" No answer. Only silence. When they opened the door, they found her lying peacefully on her bed, her hands folded on her chest, as if she had fallen asleep forever. A calm smile rested on her face. It was as though she had gone gently, dreaming of the cow she loved. The cow's grief. When the villagers came to take Myra's body for burial, Gauri refused to move from the doorway. She stood there, blocking their way, her big eyes filled with tears. When they carried Myra out, the cow followed, slow, heavy steps, her head bowed low. That night, the village was silent. No one milked Gauri. No one lit the small oil lamp inside the hut. Only the sound of the cow crying echoed softly through the darkness. A sound no one who heard it would ever forget. The miracle. The next morning, when the villagers returned, they found something strange. Behind the hut, where the soil was soft, there was a freshly dug mound of earth. And beside it lay Gauri, quiet and still. They realized what had happened. The cow had dug the ground with her hooves, little by little through the night, and buried the old woman, her only friend, her only family, with her own strength. No one could explain how a creature of mere instinct could show such love. But everyone who saw it wept. The villagers built a small stone by the grave. It read, "Here rests Myra, and her love, Gauri." But the story doesn't end here. Because legends say that even today, on quiet nights when the moonlight touches the old field, you can still hear the soft moo of a cow, and the faint voice of an old woman whispering back, "Good morning, my dear Gauri."